Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hobby Lodge, and in this video I'm going to show you some pickups from my recent visit to the retro realm. So let's jump into things, shall we? The Retro Realm is the shop in Ipswich owned by the awesome Sega Zombie. If you've not seen it, I've done a video on it and it's up here somewhere, hopefully right now. Go and check out his awesome store video tour that I did. Yeah, really cool place, and managed to get up there last week. Went out with my good friend Nerdy Geezer and we picked up some stuff. So rather than doing a shop tour again, like I said, it's in the playlist. You've probably already seen it. A bunch of people have also done videos on it as well. But if you've not seen the video, again, it's up there if you want to press it. And I'm going to just jump into the things I've picked up because, to be honest, I've got so many pickups to do. I haven't done a pickups video in quite a long time. So I thought maybe I'll break it down into topics. And this one, I'll cover the retro realm. And then in subsequent videos coming, I'll do some other pickups that I've done as well, because there's been a lot. So let's jump into specifically what came out of the retro realm. So I don't know where to go first. Let's jump into some PC goodness. As you know, I love picking up games for the PC as much as I do every other system as well. So these are some of the ones I picked up, and these are all absolute bangers. So the first one is Grim Fandango on the PC. LucasArts click and point adventure. If you've not seen this game, voice acting in it is fantastic. The actual puzzles are great, and the game is a real classic, classy game. So, Grim Fandango. Next up, we picked up just another great LucasArts point and click adventure game, which is a bit of a theme for these games, I've got to be honest, and that is Full Throttle. Again, if you've not played this one, I've completed this one a number of times, and it's a fantastic game. The music, the artwork, again, the sort of the puzzles that are in there, etc. It just plays such well. It's on a number of systems now, and they've even done, I think, like a remastering version of it. So definitely worth checking that out. Next up, I actually don't know this game, but Scott threw it to me for free because I picked up a bunch of other games. So I'll have to look this one up, but it's called Hellcab. I'd love to know if anyone's ever heard of this game before on the PC. It's just a disc. So that's one for me to check out at some point. Now this, if you saw my video on going to RMC, the cave, this game came up, and so did the prequel to it as well, which I shall try and find down here if I can get my hands on it. I can't, but oh no, it's here. Let me get it 1 second, because I'll show you both of these at the same time. So the game in question is 11th Hour, and of course the prequel to that, which was Seventh Guest. Both of these games are amazing FMV point and click adventures, just really cool and really puzzle based. Like, really, some of the puzzles are quite brain taxing. But my dad used to play these all the time, completed them a number of times. I've played them as well and completed them. So when I saw that he had them there physically, I had to pick them up. Now the 11th Hour came in like a complete multi-disc case. I think there's 3 CDs, I think, to it. Yes, there is. There's 3 CDs in there and a manual in a nice, like, sort of, CD case. And then the Seventh Guest came in this really odd and peculiar parental discretion Virgin Media packet, which is something I haven't seen before. And this has got, maybe this is from an online order or something, but in here you've got all the manuals and everything. But yeah, just I've not seen a game come this way before, so I'm assuming this was some sort of online order back when these things could be done, maybe. But you've got the manual and everything in there. But yeah, it came in this packet rather than a box or anything. So that was quite unique. A Virgin Media games packet. So there we go. Seventh Guest and 11th Hour. Again, cracking games. If you've not played them, you definitely should. Of course, then there is games like this, Curse of Monkey Island. So this is the 3rd in the series, I believe. It might be the 4th. I think it's the 3rd game in the Monkey Island sort of sequence of games. But again, another sort of more modern take on the Monkey Island series. Obviously, graphics are that much sort of, up from the previous games, but still a really good little point and click adventure. Again, another one. We've got Gable Knights 3. This is just because my dad absolutely loves these games, and this may end up with him if I don't play it myself. But another sort of a horror mystery type of game. And then I saw these, and I thought these might be a little fun little set to collect. So I won't jump into them too much because I don't know if what I'm gonna do with them at the moment. But he had just sitting there, just 4 Harry Potter games on PC. So I picked up all 4 of them because it might be a little subset that I complete all of the Harry Potter. So you've got Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, and the Goblet of Fire. So I don't know how many Harry Potter games they did on PC in that sort of, in the order of the books. I don't know, so we'll find out. Right, on to something else then. Actually, no, let's finish off where we had, because there's one other PC game, and that was this Tomb Raider collection. So this has 6 games from the Tomb Raider series on it. The Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in this kind of nice little collection. So yeah, well, that was quite a nice little thing. I believe it's missing a disc in there, which is why sort of Scott didn't charge me any money for it. Yeah, oh, that's quite cool. Should be able to either burn a disc or find a disc to complete it, as it were, but I'm not too fussed, it'll be fine. Other stuff. I picked up a copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. The reason why, I already own this, but my daughter just went to university, and one of the things she wanted to take with her was a copy of Mario Kart, because she loves playing Mario Kart and she wants to play it down there with her university friends, but also friends online that she's left back here while she's gone to university. And of course, if we want to play her, we're going to need our own copy of it. So yeah, luckily he had a copy there, so I picked up a copy of Mario Kart 8. So we now have that back in the Hobby Lodge. Next up, we'll grab some Super Nintendo. Why not? So this is the first game on the Super Nintendo I picked up, and this is the Super Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars Super Empire Strikes Back on the Super Nintendo. He did have the original Star Wars there as well. Something was telling me I owned it already, and thankfully when I got back I discovered that I did. So there it is. I just got the Empire Strikes Back instead. Next up was a pretty big hitter, I think, for the SNES. Had it there. It was fate to pick it up. Scott had actually posted on his Facebook page that this had come in, and I was going to say I'll take it. But I thought, you know what, I'll let fate decide. So I went, if it's still there when I go there, I'll pick it up. And it was, so I did. And it is Final Fight. Oh, that's not going to zoom in, is it? There we go. Final Fight on the Super Nintendo. What an awesome game Final Fight is. So any systems you can get it on and play it. I know this has limitations. I believe it's only a 1-player game and it's missing one of the characters. But you know, it's still going to be awesome. Most of the games, the times I play, are 1-player anyway, so it makes no real difference to me. But I do have an arcade stick down there in which I can play the game on anyway, but it'd be nice to have it on the Super Nintendo. So that's the pickup for the Super Nintendo. Next up, where should we go now? Well, let's go. This was for a friend. I'll just show it anyway in case anyone has any interest. But it is some DVDs of a series called Blake 7. So it's a very old TV series, I think from, I'm probably going to say the 70s, but I may be wrong on that. Yeah, very old school, not Star Trek, but you know, a sci-fi adventure series called Blake 7, and he had the entire of series 1 on there. So I picked that up for a friend, give it to him because he is a big fan of this series, and I know there's even a group of people still trying to keep it alive and write new episodes for it and all sorts. So yeah, I thought he'd really like that, so I picked that up for him. One Amiga game was picked up, and that is Championship Manager 93. Look at that, man. That's an old school cover. Look at that football manager there with his sandy felt coat or whatever they're called. They used to have a name. I can't remember what they were called. But yeah, I picked this up because this is one of the probably the only football manager game that I genuinely really played when I had it on the Amiga. I think it's well known as being the best one out there. So I thought it was nice to have a copy of that. What I really loved was inside. Not only did it have obviously the original discs, but someone had made a copy of the game as well, so there were some copy discs in here, and there were some of the expansions that you got either via demo discs or by downloading public domain type stuff as well. So there's a whole bunch of add-ons in there, including the original discs, obviously, so I can play it. But I'll probably be using WHD Load to play the game. And then also in here, which I thought was quite funny, was someone had kept a log of all the wins and losses on a piece of what is now getting to be a very old piece of paper. So I thought that was quite funny. And even I think, I wonder if this company's still around. But there is a, I'm going to cover up, no, actually it's a public piece of information, so I don't think it matters. But the chances of this company still being around, but there we go. There's someone who's probably written down their team from this contracts plant hire company. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. And now I have a copy of Championship Manager 93 going into the collection. Oh, I forgot to show this. For the SNES games, I also picked up a third-party SNES pad, and the reason why I picked it up, one, is because they're always handy to have, but it has auto fire functions on it, and I think I even owned one of these when I was younger. But some games, I'm not gonna lie, you know, getting a bit, yeah, the hands are getting a bit old, the knuckles and fingers aren't what they used to be. So pressing fire button 100 million times is getting a bit tiresome. So I'm not gonna lie, having some auto fire for some of those shooters and stuff, I'm not gonna pass up on that. So I think it was super cheap. I think it was like £10 or something for the controller. So not only is it useful to have more controllers, but one with auto fires on can be very handy indeed. And then we're on to some other, well, actually it was a very Nintendo heavy a little shopping spree, but picked up some other stuff as well. We got Arcade Classic 4 on the Game Boy, and this came with, oh, I've just noticed it's got a sticker on it. Oh, it just says Game Boy. For some reason my eyes thought I said just game then. Defender and Joust on the Game Boy. Two really classic arcade games ported over to the Game Boy. Obviously Defender is one that I know Alex at the Arcade Archive absolutely loves and plays that game to death. Is a bit of a master at it. And Joust, I mean, it's a great fun game as well, so be interesting to see how they play on the Game Boy for sure. Then we got some NES games. Now I haven't gone too crazy on the NES, but when I see them loose, as you know, I only collect loose carts, so I could pick up more games, but I on purpose don't buy in-box complete games. So when they're loose, I grab them. So there was a couple of Mega Drive games there that I was interested in, but they were complete in-box, so I just left them alone. So the first up is one you'd have all definitely heard of, and I wonder how many people have heard of the second one. So the first one is Skate or Die on the SNES. And I did notice some weird little bobbling effects on the plastic there. I wonder what causes that. I wonder if anyone knows what causes that little bobbling effect in the plastic. Maybe heat related or something. But I don't know. Interesting. But then there was the follow-up. Well, I don't know if it's a follow-up or I'm guessing it's a follow-up game. It looks like a follow-up game. But so you had Skate or Die, and then you got Ski or Die. So that's interesting. Definitely going to check that out. Because yeah, I now have, maybe it's a mini set. Maybe I've just completed a mini. Were there any others and Die games? Was there, I don't know, baseball and Die? Was there hand glide and Die? What other sports were there and Die in the series? But we now have Skate or Die and Ski or Die in the NES collection, which is nice. Next up, a classic top-down run-and-gun shooter, and that is Ikari Warriors. Yeah, fantastic. As you can see, very nice-looking cart as well. Very, very good condition given the age and given that they're loose. And last up, we've got this, which is a dungeon crawler that I wanted to give a try to, and it is Shadowgate. So I would have seen these more on like the Amiga and those sort of first DOS-based PC games and stuff like that. But to see a dungeon crawler on the NES, I'm going to be interested to play this. I think there's a few in the series. I think Shadowgate is one of a number of games very similar to this. I don't think it was called Shadowgate 2 and so on. I think it has a totally different name, but there's a whole series of these kind of adventure games on the NES. So yeah, there was that as well. That is all that I picked up from Scott's shop. I'm going to give one special shout out though to someone who gave me something that wasn't from the shop, and that is Alex U-Star Gamer. I shall stick his channel below. I've been after a copy of this for quite some time, and he sent me it for free. So definitely want to give him a shout out. Go and check out his channel. He's a really nice guy. Has a complete Wii U collection and other bits and pieces. Yeah, he sent me a copy of Defender of the Crown on the Commodore 64. So look, it's lovely. Really one of the best sort of cover box, cover arts you can get. Fantastically looking, and plays fantastically well. The Commodore 64 version of this game is really, really good. So yeah, really looking forward to giving this a go, because it's a game I've been wanting to get hold of. I do want to get it on the Amiga as well, but really happy to have it on the Commodore 64, get it stuck in Commodore Corner, and yeah, play it. So yeah, I want to give Alex a quick shout out for sending that to me and asking nothing for it, which he didn't need to do. I'd have quite happily bought it from him, but he just sent it to me for free. And that is it. So that's the first of a pickups video, and there's gonna be more, because I have actually got a ton of Amiga games to go through, a ton of Commodore 64, and a bunch of other things as well, even some hobby stuff as well. So I want to go through the tabletop games, the board games, all the things that we've been picking up over the last few months, because I think it's been at least 6 or 7 months since I did a pickups video. We now have merch as well, the stuff that no one ever asked for. It's a bit silly, but why not do it? You can do it, so why not? I'll stick a link below if anyone fancies checking out where you can get a t-shirt, a hat, anything you want, basically, with the logo on, the new logo, and even new intro that we have going on now. And that's about it. So I'm a bit rusty with these videos, so I'm going to get back into getting back into the swing of them again. I need to do some other bits and pieces. I'm still doing Monday Night Retros. I'm still hopefully doing the retro quiz. I still want to do the homebrew reviews. I definitely want to do more painting videos and hobby, tabletop gaming hobby videos. Loads more to come on the channel. So if you're still watching, you're still around, hit the thumbs up, give me a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. All right. Thanks very much. See ya. Bye-bye.